Cobb. Hard to believe after all these years you're still here.
I was declared a historical landmark.
Yeah, the place does seem different from what I remember.
It's this new, younger generation of pirate leaders. Oh, they're highfalutin dark magic. Look at us. We're so much better than you because we don't drink grog before getting married. These kids today are all about sacking and pillaging. They've got no heart.
I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island. Wanna come?
I heard the secret is just some marketing gimmick Stan thought up. That only the gullible and naive would go looking for it.
Tell me about Loom.
Oh, I'm so sick of pirates asking me about Loom. Get lost.
Then why don't you take off the Ask Me About Loom button?
My grog-riddled body has fused with it. I'm more button than man at this point.
Oh, come on. Tell me about Loom. For old time's sake.
Beat it.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
Fine. You mean the latest masterpiece of fantasy storytelling from Lucasfilm's Brian Moriarty? Why, it's an extraordinary adventure with an interface of magic, stunning, high-resolution 3D landscapes, sophisticated score, and musical effects. Not to mention the detailed animation and special effects, elegant point-and-click control of characters, objects, and magic spells. Beat the rush. Go out and buy Loom today.
Yes.
Now get lost.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah.
It's those three clowns at the back table. Are you sure I can't persuade you to back my expedition to Monkey Island?
Let's pretend I was really considering this. What sort of pirate qualifications have you got, exactly?
I completed the 3 trials.
Trials?
It's how they used to make their bones in the old days.
Well, I was a director of combat operations for the British Navy, and I've written 2 books on ship-to-ship tactics.
I'm a founding member and co-director of the Red Fleet and hold records for civilian casualties from San Domingo to Venezuela.
I'm an expert in 17 forms of hand-to-hand combat, 3 of which I invented. I served with Bellamy, Teach, and Roberts before they each met an untimely end that I might have had nothing to do with.
Just so you know, this is the kind of resume we expect.
Oh. Are you sure I can't persuade you?
Yes.
I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island.
Good for you.
I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island.
Don't sound much like pirating to me.
I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island.
It'll turn out to be a t-shirt or something.
Looks like this is gonna be a long journey. Say what you want about my evil, horrible nemesis LeChuck, but he does know how to stock a ship. No parking of demonic, ghostly, or undead vessels or scooters. Tuesdays 3 to 4. I hope this isn't one of those party cruises. Hey,
What is it?
are you sure I can't convince you that I'm not Guybrush Threepwood?
Just looking like Guybrush Threepwood is enough that I can't give you the job. Sorry.
Expedition to Fabled Monkey Island. How clever. Hey, watch it! Re-elect Governor Carla. I could stare at this forever, but that wouldn't be much fun for you. Hi again. Oh, those new pirate leaders are real jerks. They laughed at me, and they won't fund my expedition. Why didn't you warn me?
Would you have listened?
Of course. Okay, no, probably not. I'm thinking about going on LeChuck's expedition after all.
I'm glad to hear you decided to patch things up.
No, he doesn't want me on the ship. I'm blacklisted. I'm gonna have to go in disguise.
These Shakespearean comedies just write themselves.
See anything interesting out there?
Change. The future.
Are those the names of ships? All I can see is open water.
It's what I named my cataracts.
Huh. I detect a certain resemblance here.
Yes, it looks a lot like an owl, doesn't it?
Hi there, little guy. Hi there, little guy. You've been at this post a long time.
Yep. My eyesight isn't what it once was, but my hearing is still as sharp as the governor's sword.
And that's helpful for being a lookout?
There's hardly ever anything to see anyway. The job is mostly about greeting people. Welcome to Melee Island.
Thanks. Wow, that's worse than I imagined. The assets of this establishment have been seized to settle a class action lawsuit. Have a nice day. The window's all boarded up, and it's very dark in there. Is that an old toothbrush? I remember when these torches lit up Stan's previously owned vessels like a carnival. It always looks bigger on this side of the island. It always looks bigger on this side of the island. It says, Tan's previously owned vessels. So sad. Stan's used to be the best place to buy used ships. There was a time when every mooring would be filled with one of Stan's used ships. Stan used this to clean his ships. It's all rusted out now. It's a dried up old sea sponge. There was a time when every mooring would be filled with one of Stan's used ships. It's sad to see the shipyard like this. Oh, I remember the first time Stan tried to fleece me. If a ship was shot full of holes, Stan would stick oars in them and call it a galley. Oh, I remember the first time Stan tried to fleece me. I remember when these torches lit up Stan's previously owned vessel. Oh, I remember the... There was a time when every mooring would be filled with one of Stan's used ships. I remember when these torches lit up Stan's previously owned... Warning. The dark forest ahead is deadly and twisty. Maps are highly recommended. I'm hopelessly lost without a map. I'm hopelessly lost without a map. I'm hopelessly lost without a map. Oh, I used to love these when I was 6. I used to love these when I was 6. Until I got trapped in one for 2 days. I think they're illegal now. Museum of Pirate Lore.
Hi there. Welcome to the Melee Island Museum of Pirate Lore. I'm Conrad, the curator and docent here. The museum showcases the largest collection of pirate memorabilia in the Caribbean. Or on Melee Island at the very least. The provenance of each item has been very carefully researched and fact-checked by myself and my team. Feel free to explore. And if you have any questions, just ask.
there's some very tiny writing on it. Ah, crystal clear. I'll just write that down. What can you tell me about this eye patch?
That's the pride of the collection. It belonged to Captain John Laney, the pirate of 1,000 faces. Supposedly, it had voodoo powers that would disguise him. I tried it on though, and nothing happened.
That is a really big parrot. Wonder how many hands it's eaten. What do you feed it?
Thieves, mostly.
Good to know. It's a working parrot. I shouldn't bother it. What was this cinder you've got on the wall?
Oh, that. Yeah, that was an unsent love letter written by Elaine Marley while she was governor of the island.
What? Elaine?
The recipient was referred to only as Plunder Bunny.
That's me!
It was a really touching letter. Unfortunately, I put the candle too close to it.
What did it say? Tell me what she said.
Oh, you know, love letter stuff. Honestly, I don't remember a word of it, but it was touching.
Thanks a lot. Is this a left hook or a right hook?
That once belonged to the dread pirate Meat Hook. Supposedly he was ambidextrous. Also, he used to live right here, on Melee.
That's a nice coffin.
The one with the ore. Yeah, the coffin had a lot of water damage when I got it from the voodoo lady in town. But I managed to restore it. It was used by a certain well-known captain in a daring escape from a Turkish prison.
The water damage is actually from the swamp on Scab Island.
Unlikely. The prison in question is nowhere near Scab Island.
I'm just trying to help.
Thanks. I've got it under control.
Tell me again about the ore.
It was used by a certain well-known captain in a daring escape from a Turkish prison.
What's the significance of the peg leg?
That belonged to the infamous Peg Leg Patty. She used to hide a spare cutlass in it, in case of capture. Sadly, that's the reason she's no longer with us.
What's the story with the wanted poster?
That is the earliest known wanted poster for Captain Kate Capsize. You can tell how notorious she was by the huge number of crimes listed there. Very impressive. I got it from a collector on Fat Island.
Those are my own crimes, actually. I was pretty much public enemy #1 on Fat Island at the time. I stuck Kate's picture on there so she'd get thrown in jail.
That would never work. Nobody's that clueless in real life.
You don't believe me?
It's not a question of belief.
Never mind. It's not important. What's this melted lump of metal?
It used to be a mug. It was melted by some kind of acid. It was found in the Melee jail many years ago, after an incident where like 20 pirates escaped.
Hey, I did that. I had to keep pouring the grog from mug to mug because it was melting them. I had an armload of mugs and I juggled them all the way from the scum bar to the jail. Also, I could get Otis to join my crew. Not my greatest decision in retrospect.
That's a pretty wild story.
I'm telling you the truth.
I'm sure you are, but it just doesn't quite square with the official record. So it's hard to substantiate.
Substantiate? You've got an eyewitness.
Eyewitnesses are notoriously inaccurate. Human memory is plastic and suggestible.
Not yours, apparently.
No, of course not. I deal in facts.
Tell me again about the mug.
It was found in the Melee jail.
It was just one pirate, actually.
No, I'm pretty...
You should think about hiring a...
Oh, I did.
How on earth do you have that note?
Oh, yeah. That's very interesting. That was found tucked inside of a book at the Fat Island Library. It's the actual note left by the ghost pirate LeChuck when he kidnapped Governor Marley.
I know what it is. The lookout handed it to me just before I finished my 3 trials. I was crushed, but undaunted. I gathered a crew and I sailed to Monkey Island to save her. Not that she needed it, as it turned out.
Wow, man, you're really into this. I've got a role-playing group on Thursday nights.
This is absurd. It's like this whole wall is stuff from my personal adventures, but somehow I'm not even mentioned in your stories.
That's what's so great about this museum. Everyone makes their own connections with the exhibits, and it's highly personal and different for everyone.
That's not what I'm trying to say at all.
That's okay. You don't need to say anything. Just listen to what the exhibits tell you.
Fine. That map looks familiar.
That's 1/4 of the original map to the treasure of Big Whoop. I got it from the cartographer on Low Street. Apparently, he was somehow involved in the search for Big Whoop.
About all Wally managed to do was get kidnapped by LeChuck's henchmen.
That's not the way he tells it.
I would think you'd care more about accuracy. What kind of museum is this?
Museum of Pirate Lore. Did you miss the sign on the way in?
Why do you have this big gear?
It's from the Melee Clock Tower, stolen during a pirate raid nearly 75 years ago. It was recently found at an inn on St. Martin, where it was being used to mill corn. I traded some old furniture for it that we had in the back room.
Has anyone thought about putting it back in the clock?
Nah. If the clock started working, it would only confuse people.
It's locked. There's tiny writing. New serial numberless lock. There's some Tell me again about the hook.
That once belonged to the Dread Pirate Meat Hook.
I used to love these when I was 6. Until I got trapped in one for 2 days. I think they're illegal now.
Welcome back.
Hi there. Can you make me a key from this serial number?
Sure. This will be for a high-end display case. You a collector?
Yeah. Stamps. This was where the fantastic Flying Fettuccine Brothers circus used to be. Nothing left but old tent pole holes. Wow, I could have had a totally different future if I'd stayed with them. The display case is locked. The display case is locked.
Whoa! That's not supposed to be unlocked. I'd better fold this and put it in storage. Then I can figure out what's wrong with the lock. Looking good.
There's some very tiny writing on it.
That's folded perfectly. That'll do, Parrot. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the museum while I figure out what's going on with my display case lock.
Once upon a time, I won a t-shirt right here on the front lawn.
Welcome back. I checked the display case and it seems fine, so we're open for business again.
good for relieving stress.
What do you expect me to do, Elaine? Issue a proclamation?
Of course not, Carla. We'll need to generate public support. I'm working on that.
People around here don't like any kind of restrictions, even if it's for their own good.
But we can put a requirement on ships traveling to the north. There's already a customs check, so the infrastructure is all in place.
But it's a start. Scurvy's a big problem. Let's do all we can.
Agreed.
I've come a long way. Is there anything else on the agenda?
Coffee?
I don't really have anything to say. I just like doing this.
Practice is nice, but I'm busy these days. Governor stuff.